I don't remember their names.
Wait, did the boy have a name?
I have the gist of it.
But that's not part of the story.
I don't know what to do. Okay.
Welcome to Narrative Telephone. Our storyteller has recorded themselves reciting a short story, then sent this recording to another member of the side quest team. After hearing the story once, they recounted the story the best they could for the next team member, and so on, and so on.
Good King Vosbeard led his kingdom for many years with wisdom and kindness. It flourished under his steady hand, but when he came near the end of his days, he had no heir to replace him on the throne. He put out a call throughout the land for petitioners to state why they should be the next king, and he would choose from the most worthy. The first petition the king was a man named Stossman, the leader of a great band of mercenaries. I offer to you my men. They are strong and their numbers are great. Combined with your armies, no one could stand against us. Leave me your kingdom, and I will make it an empire on which the sun will never set. The king considered this and sent him away. The next to petition the king was the head of the Sabios monks that valued knowledge and wisdom above all else. O great king, we offer your kingdom our teachings. Leave it to us to shepherd, and we will lead them down the path of wisdom. Your kingdom will become a beacon of enlightenment that all the world will flock to. Again the king considered this and sent them away. Petitioner after petitioner came before the king, offering riches and glory and boasts, but none moved the king until a meek boy came before him. Your Highness, my name's Haver. I've come from a poor village on the far edge of the kingdom. We've not got much there, but we do have one bit of wisdom that might move you. Be sure to donate at donate.zeldathon.net. Seeing that Haver and his village were the wisest people he'd ever met, good King Vosbeard left his kingdom to them when he passed. The moral of the story is donate at donate.zeldathon.net.
Okay. I'm sorry. That was spectacular. Thank you, Hipster. Thank you for including me in this. I'm going to try and retell the story now. I have the gist of it. Names are not my forte. I'm so sorry, whoever's after me. Once upon a time, there was a king, and he had a name. It was Vosbeard or something. He ruled a vast kingdom, and nearing the end of his life, he realized that he had no heir to the throne. So he reached out and petitioned the kingdom to see if he could find somebody to choose as an heir. The first person who came to him had a name. He was a leader of a band of mercenaries, and his name started with an S, and you're out of luck. I'm sorry. But he was a strong, spear-wielding mercenary who said, let me take over the country. Let me rule the kingdom with my band of mercenaries to join with your armies, and the sun will never set on this empire if you let me rule. The king considered this, and the petitioner left. After that, he was petitioned by a wise set of monks whose name also started with S, jerks, who came from just a background of great wisdom, who said, let us rule, and there will be prosperity and peace because of wise rule. And there was something more prophetic than that, but I got nothing. The king considered this and dismissed them. He continued to hear petition after petition after petition, but nothing moved his spirit, until finally he was approached by a meek, small boy from a poor village on the outskirts of the kingdom, named Haver. And Haver said, we don't have much in our small village, but we have one piece of wisdom that I would like to see if would move your spirit, and consider letting us be the heirs to your throne. And that one snippet of wisdom was to donate at donate.zeldathon.net. King Vossbeard was so moved by this wisdom that in his passing he left his entire kingdom to this small villager, Haver. And the moral of the story is that you should donate at donate.zeldathon.net. Good luck.
Wow. What a story. Like, A+ story. Okay. Let me see if I can retell it. Okay. So, once upon a time, there was a large, vast kingdom, and the king, who apparently had a name, but nobody can remember it. Sorry, MoJo. I think it was Frostbeard. Frostbeard. Okay. Frostbeard, the king, had no heir. So he decided to put out a request to absolutely everybody. And if they can move him with their wisdom or something like that, he will make them the heir. And so he does that. And the first guy to come up, his name started with an S, and MoJo doesn't know, so I'm going to call him Solomon. So Solomon was a spearman, head of a bunch of bandits, basically. And he comes and says, "Make me the ruler, and the sun will never set." The king ponders this for a second, and then is like, "No, be on your way." And so Solomon, the spearman, heads off. And then 2 monks come. They're twins or something, I guess. And both of their names also start with S. So they're going to be Sola and Spiria. Sorry, whoever comes next. So Sola and Spiria come up and say, "Let us rule the kingdom. And as long as we rule, there will be peace across the entire nation." And the king thought about this for a moment and said no, and sent them on their way. And so the king heard petition after petition after petition, and none of them really got into his heart, until one day this small, meek little boy comes up from a very far village just at the very edge of the kingdom. And this little boy goes, wait, did the boy have a name? I don't know if the boy had a name. My bad. I'm sorry. Okay. And the little boy comes up and says, "We don't have much in our village, but we've passed down this one piece of wisdom, which is to donate at donate.zeldathon.net. And the king was elated. He was so excited to hear the news that he made this little meek boy from the edge of the kingdom the next heir. So the moral of this entire story is to donate at donate.zeldathon.net. Thanks, guys.
Hi, this is Narrative Telephone, brought to you by Ganon11, who, right after watching the video, recorded one take entirely muted, and then jumped on an hour-long Zoom call with my uncle to wish him a happy 70th birthday. Happy birthday, Uncle Walt. Now, the story of King Frostbeard and the quest for an heir to the throne. King Frostbeard was a wise, powerful, and just king who ruled his nameless kingdom for eons. But the time came for him to select a successor, for he had no children to be his heir. And so he decided to seek out a worthy successor from the citizens of his kingdom. He sent out this message that all and any who were wise should come to him and share their wisdom with him. And if he found it worthy, he would bestow upon them his nameless kingdom. The first to approach him was a spearman by the name of Solomon, who was in a group of mercenaries, spearmen like himself. And he said, "Noble King Frostbeard, if you select me to be your successor, I will give you this wisdom. Might makes right, and my group will conquer lands around us and bring peace and prosperity through conquest to your kingdom." And Frostbeard said, "Depart from me, you warmonger. I want none of your doings." The second group were two monks named Sola and Spira, who approached King Frostbeard and said, "We will bring you peace. We will bring peace to your kingdom. We will grow our borders no further. We will research no further. We will uncover no more wrongs to be righted. Everything will stay exactly as it is, and we will have peace and tranquility." And King Frostbeard said, "Depart from me. I want none of your staleness, your stability. I wish my kingdom to continue to improve and be better for those in it and for those around it." And he sent them away. Many, many other supplicants approached King Frostbeard in this manner, sharing their pieces of wisdom. But King Frostbeard found none of them moving. Finally, a young boy from a border village approached. And the king said, "Who is this boy? And what wisdom could he possibly have to share with me, the wise and noble ruler of my nameless kingdom?" And the boy said, "Your Majesty, King Frostbeard, I have but one piece of wisdom that has been passed down in my village from generation to generation. My grandfather taught it to my mother, and my mother taught it to me, and now, with your permission, I would like to tell it to you." And the king, who had a short temper, but was truly a just and noble king, relented in his frustration and bade the young boy speak. And the young boy said, "The piece of wisdom is this, that one should donate at donate.zeldathon.net towards charity water." And the king thought about this, and he realized that in his years and years of ruling this kingdom, he had never heard this wisdom before, but it struck him as true wisdom that would improve his character and his kingdom, and indeed all the world. And so he sent out a proclamation saying, "This boy shall inherit my kingdom, for he has shared with me the ancient knowledge of his village, that one should donate at donate.zeldathon.net." Thus ends the story of King Frostbeard and the search for an heir to his kingdom. Thank you.
First of all, happy birthday to Gannon's uncle. Have a good one. This is Narrative Telephone. It is now my turn, and I shall tell you the story of King Frostbeard. The story of King Frostbeard begins with him ruling a very wide spread land, but with one issue: he didn't have any children, so he didn't have any successors. King Frostbeard's nameless land needed a successor, so King Frostbeard sent out a message to wide and far to the population saying, "Those who can provide me wisdom shall have a chance to become the successor to my kingdom." So, as he said, he did, and he spread out a message. First to arrive was a young spearman named Solomon. He bestowed the wisdom to the king of, "All you need is might." The king was like, "No, I don't want you, you warmonger." But the spearman was like, I can give you all the land next to us, and it shall be yours. But the king was like, no, I don't like that. I don't want war. Be gone. So, spearman was gone. Next up, there were two monks. Their wisdom to the king was that was a message of peace. They said, King, we shall not do anything. We will not improve. We won't go to war. We won't do anything. We shall leave the land at peace, and so be it. King was like, no, how can you say that? I want my kingdom to prosper, and I want my kingdom to be well. Go away, go away. I don't want you here. I don't know. You're not wise. You're just lazy. So many others also gave a visit to the king with all different kinds of wisdoms. The king never was satisfied until upon one time he heard a message from a neighboring village that a little boy had some very good wisdom. So he made the boy come over and he asked, well, young boy, I heard you had some wisdom. What is it? Well, this wisdom was given to me by my mom, who knew it from my grandma, who knew it from her uncle. And that is, you should donate to Charity Water by visiting donate Zeldathon.net/donate, I think. Zeldathon.net/donate. And donate to Charity Water. The king never heard his wisdom, so it must not other be than wise. And so, as promised, the little boy would become the successor of the nameless land. With the new message of the land being, donate to Charity Water by visiting Zeldathon.net/donate. And this was a story of King Frostbeard.
I don't know if it was part of it, but happy birthday to Ganon's uncle. I don't think that's part of the story, but that's something that was mentioned last time, so I thought I'd bring it up. Today, we talk about the story of King Frostbeard. He was a king who ruled over a wide, far-reaching land, but he had one problem. He had no children. No children meant no one to take the throne after him. So for King Frostbeard, this would not do. He needed someone to take his place eventually. So he put out a message. Whoever could come and give him wisdom would claim this nameless land. The message was spread out. The first person to come was a spearman named Solomon. The king said, "What wisdom do you have to share?" And Solomon said, "I will make us a powerful nation. We will claim all the land around us, and we'll be the strongest nation there is." The king said, no, this won't do. I do not want war. I do not want someone leading that will just bring us to war. So be gone, you warmonger. And Solomon left. Next came two monks. The monks came to the king. The king said, "What wisdom do you have to share?" And the monk said, "Our wisdom is peace. We will do nothing. We will leave the land as it is. We will cause no damage to us or our surroundings, and we will be at peace with everything." The king said, no, no, no. I cannot have my kingdom do nothing. I want it to prosper and grow. Now, we can have peace, but we must also have growth. So he sent the monks away. More people came to offer the king wisdom, and he was never satisfied until a little boy came from a neighboring village. And as normal, the king said to the little boy, "What wisdom do you have to bring then?" The little boy said, "Well, I have this wisdom that I got from my ma. She got from my grandma, heard it from her uncle. And that wisdom is donate to charity water at donate.zeldathon.net." Checking. Or zeldathon.net/donate. The King Frasbeard, was like, "This is amazing wisdom. He's never heard it before, so this must be the greatest wisdom." So, as promised, the little boy became heir to the throne. And the wisdom of the village became donate to charity water at zeldathon.net/donate. And that's the story of King Frasbeard and the unnamed town. Okay.
Okay, so to begin, we have to start off by wishing Ganon's uncle, I believe it was a happy 70th birthday. Absolutely part of the telephone story. And next up, our story does then begin with the legend of King Frasbeard. So King Frasbeard was a phenomenal ruler who ruled over a great expanse. There was no name to this land. In all of his success, though, King Frasbeard never managed to have children or an heir of any sort. There was no one to take over the land. So, in an attempt to find a solution for this problem, King Frasbeard decided that if someone would be able to bestow upon him a worthy nugget of wisdom, if you will, that person would prove that they are, in fact, a capable ruler of the land, and he would transfer everything over to them as his sole heir once he passed away. So, hearing this news, there was a spearman named Solomon who came from a nearby village, and he said, "King Frasbeard, the way that I can bestow upon you wisdom is that once I would take over as a ruler, we would head to war, and we would expand and grow the kingdom, and it would be great. We would prosper, everything would be phenomenal, we'd just go on so much further from where we are." King Frasbeard, hearing this, thought and said, no, I cannot have the great and powerful Fire Nation ruling and leading us towards war. So King Frasbeard sent off Solomon the Spearman, as he did not want any war in his kingdom after he passed away. So then next up, 2 monks came, and they told King Frasbeard that their solution would be peace and just passiveness. They would not do anything. They would just keep on ruling the land as it was, but they wouldn't seek out to expand or start any conflicts, if you will. So hearing this, King Frasbeard thought, possibly, but you know what? Ultimately, no. I do want to see the kingdom grow. I don't want for us to sit here passively by and nothing happen. So King Frasbeard then sent away the 2 monks. So looking around far and wide, many more people came, but no one was bestowing that wisdom, that valuable nugget of wisdom upon King Frasbeard. So eventually, a new person came forward. It was a young boy, and he said to King Frasbeard, "I have some wisdom for you. It's wisdom that I learned from my mom, and it was passed on from her grandma, and from my grandma's uncle. So it's ancient, very, very efficient value. And the wisdom there is to donate to charity water at donate www.zeldathon.net. And hearing this, the king said, Wow, wow, you know what? That's exactly right. Hearing this, all the lands will prosper. This charity water does help all lands prosper by giving everyone clean drinking water. Amazing charity. So King Frasbeard was so taken by this was the wisdom of donating to charity water that he said, you know what? This little boy has it. He knows exactly what's going on. He will be the heir to all the lands that I'm ruling. And I absolutely agree with that. And if you agree with that too, I have a proposition for you. You should donate $15.05, and a fun surprise will happen. That's my wisdom that I bestow upon you. That's not part of the story. So the story ends with King Frasbeard and the little boy taking over with the knowledge of donating to charity water. But my message is donate $15.05, and it'll be great. You'll thank me later.
All right, here we go. So first of all, I was told it was imperative that I start by wishing Gannon's uncle a happy 70th birthday. I hope I got it right. So happy birthday. Okay, the story is the beautiful tale of King Frasbeard, which was a very nice king, a nice ruler that ruled over a wide land and kingdom, and he never had any children. He never had any heir. And at some point in his life, he was like, "Well, I gotta figure something out. I need to find a ruler for my kingdom." And the way that he figured it out was he decided that someone who bestowed a nugget of wisdom upon him would be the new ruler, because he wanted someone, wise and capable of being fair and carrying over the land. So then the people heard about it and they were like, yeah, let's do it. So the first guy who showed up was a spearman named Solomon. And he was like, yeah, he was like, my incredible wisdom that I have for you is that if I become the ruler, I will take this kingdom and I will expand it, and we are going to grow, and we are going to conquer other nations, and there's going to be a glorious war, and that's how I'm going to rule. And the King Frasbeard was not so impressed by that, and he was like, well, I don't really want war, so nah. Thanks. Next. I don't remember if there was anything to it. Well, he decided that the wisdom of Solomon the spearman was not really what he was looking for. And then after that, 2 monks came along, and I don't remember their names. I don't know if they had names, but I don't remember them. So these 2 monks came along and they were like, well, King Frasbeard, we have the proper wisdom for you. We want peace more than anything. So our wisdom is that the kingdom should be passive and just go on the way it is, and we would ensure that if we became the rulers, so like no wars, we agree with you, we don't like the war thing, so we're just gonna go passively, and that's going to be the best course of action. And then King Frasbeard, in all of his wisdom, he was also not impressed. He was like, maybe that's not what I'm looking for either. There's gotta be a better way. So he was like, no thanks. And then the 2 monks walked along. They did not become the rulers. And then eventually a little boy came along, And he was like, well, King Frostbeard, I have a little bit of wisdom that I was passed along from my mother and from my grandma to my mother before her, down along my family for several generations. And my wisdom that I have for you is that you should donate to charity water by going to donate.zeldathon.net, which I had to check to see if I got the link right, and I hope I did. And donate to that beautiful charity and make a lot of people's lives better by donating. And the king was like, oh my god, this boy, he gets it. This is it. That's beautiful. And that's what I want to do. That's how I want to make this kingdom and the world a better place. So this boy, this is the wisdom that I was looking for. And that's how the little boy, who probably had a name also, that's how the boy became the ruler of King Frostbeard's beautiful kingdom. And you might not become a ruler, but you can also, I'm ad-libbing now, you can also make a lot of people's lives better if you go right now to donate.zeldathon.net and make a beautiful donation to this beautiful charity. And that's it. Thank you. Bye. I hope I got things right.